afternoon. Apologies for starting the news late. Now, it's Monday, April 28, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon, Rivers PFN chairman disagrees with FCT minister's criticism of elders' role in political crisis. PDP to hold emergency meeting over defection. NLC cancels May Day celebrations in Rivers, Edo State. Troops arrest 23 oil thieves, recover stolen crude in Rivers, other state. On the foreign scene, suspects charged after car ramming leaves 11 dead in Vancouver. I'm Ifechuku Moyinle with the news. Now, the chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN in Rivers State, Dr. Minaibi Dagogo Jack, says it is not true that elders in the state were silent in the state political crisis. Recall that the FCT Minister Nyesom had during the weekend criticized the silence of supposed elder statesmen and accused them of complicity in the crisis. However, speaking on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire, Mr. Dr. Dagogo Jack said many individuals made effort to reach out, but the avenues for dialogue were closed.
Have tried talking to them, and the doors were not open for such reconciliatory dialogue. I did before the state of emergency, and it was not very successful. And so the fears are that if you call them now, they may not even be there. So what most of us are doing, we are not leaving the state. I, as a leader of the Pentecostal body, have been praying. We've got no other thing to do than to pray.
The cleric also suggested ways to achieve peace in the state.
We need to come together and settle this problem. In order to get this problem settled, there must be justice. Because I keep saying that where there is crisis, there must be injustice. Let me also tell you, if God wishes to save a people, he sends man. Devil also wishes to cause crisis or destroy a nation, he also sends people. This crisis that is on in River State is the devil work. Devil is using men to cause crisis. So the power that the politicians are claiming to have today.
Moving on now, Vice President Kashim Shettima and the National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, will formally receive the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Obodowari, and other elected officials into the All Progressive Congress. Several APC governors and leaders are also expected at the event, which will be held at the Cenotaph. The venue of the historic rally is described as a political tsunami. 21 APC governors and leaders are expected at the event. Recall that the Delta State Governor, his cabinet, and the PDP structure in the state, including the PDP vice presidential candidate in the last election, Ifeanyi Okowa, defected from the People's Democratic Party to the APC. In another development, the National Working Committee (NWC) of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has convened an emergency meeting to address the rate of defections threatening the party. A senior party official who confirmed this to journalists on the condition of anonymity said the agenda for the emergency scheduled for tomorrow will center on the escalating trend of defections and strategies to reverse the party's downturn. In other news, the Nigeria Labour Congress has announced the cancellation of centralized May Day celebrations in Rivers State and Edo State, citing the imposition of emergency rule in Rivers and alleged political interference in the affairs of its Edo State Council. The national leadership of the NLC directed all affiliated industrial unions in Rivers and Edo State to limit the May 1st Workers' Day celebration to the state NLC Secretariat. In a letter dated 22nd April, signed by the Deputy General Secretary Ismail Bello, the NLC leadership said, given the peculiar circumstance of the subversion of democratic governance in Rivers State, the celebration should not involve fanfare, but rather a sober reflection. The NLC noted that while May Day traditionally celebrates workers' contributions, the Rivers State situation requires a special focus on rebuilding civic leadership and safeguarding workers' rights within a truly democratic environment. The Congress reaffirmed its commitment to democratic principles and urged all members to use the May Day occasion to renew calls for placing the people at the center of leadership in Rivers State. Now, this year's theme is reclaiming the civic space in the midst of economic hardship. In another development, former chairman of Obiakpo local government area, Chijioke Ihunwa, has filed a defamation suit against former head of service, Dr. George Nweke, at the Port Harcourt High Court. Now, this legal move stems from allegations made by Dr. Nweke on Channels Television on the 28th of March that Ihunwa was present in Rivers State Government House with others when decisions were made to burn down the Rivers State House of Assembly complex. In the suit dated 11th April, Ihunwa demanded an injunction restraining the former head of service from further broadcasting, publishing any other similar libel against him. Now, he is also asking Dr. George Nweke to issue an apology in 2 national dailies and television. He asked for 2 billion naira as damages and 10 million naira as cost for prosecuting the suit. And now the Bayelsa State government and new associates, a group loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, have traded accusations over gunshots that disrupted a rally organized by the group to push for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu. The rally, which took place on Saturday in Yenagoa, occurred despite a previous warning from the state government against such an event. Now, Governor Dwayne Diri had said the state would not permit the rally, given the ongoing political crisis in neighboring Rivers State involving Wike and Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Following the gunshot, Secretary of New Associate Ebilade Kerefe accused the Bayelsa State government of orchestrating the attack while addressing supporters at the rally. In response, the state government condemned the shooting and called for an investigation by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betoku. The government also urged the police to investigate the matter and bring the perpetrators to justice. Coming next, troops arrest 23 oil thieves, recover stolen crude in River State, and others. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. An eyewitness reports that the lifeless body of a young lady was found along the East-West Road near Farm Road, Rumusi. According to the eyewitness, the lady was allegedly dropped off in the early hours of Sunday morning. He said the incident has caused growing concern among residents in the area, who are now calling on the authorities to urgently evacuate the body to prevent disruption of activities and to maintain public health and safety.
Reportedly dropped off on East West Road by just directly opposite Wazobia on the other side of the road that is leading to that farm road. From the information we gathered, she was dropped there this morning and eventually she's dead now, and we are calling on the authorities and to come and remove the corpse before it decays and begin to develop a extension order and all that, or become a threat or a nuisance to the society.
Away from that, the Nigerian Army says its troops, in synergy with other security agencies, arrested 23 suspected oil bunkers, successfully deactivated 13 artisanal refineries, and confiscated over 180,000 liters of stolen product across the Niger Delta region. Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Army Public Relations Office, Danjuma, in a statement said operations conducted in River State around Orachi, Okolomade General Area in Abuadua local government area led to the discovery of over 45,000 liters of illegally refined diesel in sacks concealed at different locations. He said an active illegal refining site was destroyed, with over 28,000 liters of stolen crude recovered in 2 reservoirs around Obiafo in Oba Ebemandoni local government area. Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma said troops also uncovered an illegal refining site in Bonny, while 2 wooden boats conveying over 3,000 liters of illegally refined diesel were intercepted and 7 suspects arrested along Obricom Omoko. Meanwhile, an environmentalist, Dr. Fineface Dumnamene, has renewed calls for the legalization of artisanal refineries in the Niger Delta. His call comes after the explosion which killed 5 people, including 4 women, in Oba Ebemandoni local government area of Rivers State yesterday. He said artisanal refineries will help curb illegal oil bunkering in the Niger Delta region. And now to business. The federal government, through the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, has said about 175 new compressed natural gas refilling stations will be ready in the next 12 to 18 months. In entertainment, reality TV star and disc jockey Tolani Baj has urged Afrobeat legend who have run out of ideas or lost their melodies to consider retiring. She made the call amid the widespread criticisms that have greeted Davido, Wizkid and Burna Boy's new releases, especially among opposing fans on social media. In sports, Manchester United have offered Wolves forward Matheus Cunha a 5-year contract if the 25-year-old Brazilian opts to move to Old Trafford.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
At least 68 African migrants have been killed in a U.S. airstrike on a detention center in Houthi-controlled northwestern Yemen. The armed group's TV channel says now. Al Masira reported that another 47 migrants were injured, most of them critically, when the center in Sada province was bombed. It posted graphic footage showing multiple bodies covered in the rubble of a destroyed building. There was no immediate comment from the U.S. military, but it came hours after U.S. Central Command announced that its forces had hit more than 800 targets since President Donald Trump ordered an intensification of the air campaign against the Houthis on 15 March.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Now that's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Rivers PFN chairman Minaibi Dagogojak has disagreed with the FCT minister's criticism of elders' role in political crisis. The PDP is to hold an emergency meeting tomorrow over defection. NLC has cancelled an elaborate May Day celebration in Rivers and Edo State. Troops have arrested 23 oil thieves, recovered stolen crude in Rivers and other states. On the foreign scene, Yemen said U.S. airstrikes have killed 68 African migrants. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.